Hello and welcome to Belize and our first border crossing for a while. After leaving the Mexican area, we had several stops on the Belize side before finally entering the country and joining our fellow travellers by adding our sticker to the window of the insurance office. Belize was a British colony from 1840 and then a Crown colony from 1862 until it gained its independence in 1981. As a consequence, English is the official language, and when we visited, the Queen's head was still on the banknotes. That changed later in 2025 when the Queen was replaced by local Belizean figures. Though in Central America, we felt the country had more of a Caribbean vibe than any European influence. First stop was Orange Walk to restock the cupboards. The supermarkets are now mostly Chinese owned, again another result of British colonialism, as they were originally brought in as indentured workers. But they stocked a range of British goods, and much to our delight, bacon cut as we like it, even if it was called butt bacon. We took a boat trip along the New River to the jungle surrounding Mayan ruins at Lamanai. The site was first occupied in the 16th century BC and was continually in use until the 17th century AD. There is a mixture of preserved and restored temples, but a lot of the site remains unexcavated, covered by grass mounds and jungle. The surrounding jungle is home to troops of howler monkeys, and we found ourselves caught up in a turf battle between two of them. Is another Mayan site not far from Orange Walk. Visitors today can see the ceremonial precinct, which is made up of two plazas surrounded by temples, one of which inspired the local Belkin beer label. A large carved jade head of the sun god Kinich Ahau was found on the site. We didn't visit Belize City other than to leave the van at the old marina for a few days to visit Cay, one of a chain of islands off the coast of Belize which make up part of the second largest coral reef system on the planet. There's a regular ferry service out to the Cayes, and whilst there we had a day out with Salt Life Eco Tours, visiting the Holchan Marine Reserve, snorkelling with sharks, rays and other sea life. It was a fantastic day. Our GoPro went kaput on this day, so a lot of this footage is from Salt Life, who also video each tour. On the island itself at Stingray Beach, the rays glide gracefully over your feet and the tarpons jump out of the water to take food from your hand. We were also lucky to spot seahorses by the dock. After returning to the mainland and the van, we left the marina, running directly into a cycle race and had the support vehicles coming at us from all directions. No closed roads here. The main east-west route across the middle of the country is the Hummingbird Highway. The 55-mile-long road passes through jungle, citrus orchards and small villages along the northern edge of the Maya mountain ridge. We met up again with Stephen and Angela, aka Pepe Latour, and who we'd last seen in the Yukon in Canada, for a spot of cave tubing at St Herman's Cave. Certainly something different. San Ignacio is one of the last towns in western Belize before the border with Guatemala, and it's fair to say we packed in a lot into one day in the town. First stop was the Green Iguana Conservation Project, which collects and hatches iguana eggs, raising the small reptiles until they're old enough to be returned to the wild or sold to collectors. At Agile Chocolate, they make chocolate using traditional Mayan methods. We watched a demonstration of grinding the organic cacao beans to a paste, which was used, with added spices, to make a delicious hot chocolate. After a tasting session, we may have made a purchase or two before leaving. The Cayes Archaeological Reserve are the ruins of a palatial hilltop home of an elite Mayan family. The site was very different to all the temples we had previously visited. There is evidence of the site being inhabited as far back as 1200 BC, making it one of the oldest Mayan sites in western Belize. Green Hills Butterfly Ranch is Belize's largest butterfly reserve and home to about 30 native species. In addition to the butterflies, there are hummingbirds right across the reserve, and we spent rather a long time watching the birds on the feeders. Thanks for watching our whistle-stop tour of northern Belize, and we hope to see you again soon as we move on to Guatemala.